Hello everyone and welcome to Section 8 is Great. This is John Russell with another Section 8 landlord tip. And today's tip is we're going to be talking about what our biggest expense is and how to really realize Section 8 or great profits with your rental property. Now, I tried this and I started out and this one thing started to click for me. The first thing I did was pay off my primary home. Once your primary home is paid for, this frees up a lot of stress of everything else. So that doesn't matter if you have to live in a smaller house or whatever. If you can get one of your properties paid for, one of your rental properties or anything paid for, it relieves up a lot of stress. Now, what can happen? You have a rental property paid for or your primary home paid for, which should be all of our goals to have our primary house paid for. If you can pay off your house, your primary home, then you will be able to invest that extra money in other rental properties. So you'll be able to invest in it and keep it going. Your family will be much happier when that property is paid for as well. Just think about it. Suppose you had $1,000 home note, and you were able to not have to pay that anymore. What could that extra $1,000 do for you? Could it do something great for you? Could it help you buy another car for your wife or for your daughter? Could it be reinvested in buying another property? That's what I do. This road to Section 8 wealth is based on all of us paying off all of our properties and paying off all our debts. It's not true that we should be living in debt all the time. That's no way that we should be living. We should not be living in debt. We should not have to stress and deal like what everyone else talking about, that we have a mortgage on our property. There's ways that we don't have to have a mortgage. I'm going to give you an example. One of my Section 8 properties I purchased for cash, and believe it or not, I only had to come out of my pocket with about $4,000 in cash. I came out my pocket with $4,000 cash. It took me about $4,000 to fix up the property. That's with new carpet and and things like that, just the bare minimum to get it ready. It was a 3-bedroom property. I knew I was going to get it ready for Section 8 as soon as I put the for rent sign in the front yard. Guess who walked by? A Section 8 tenant. They had their moving papers and everything ready. They moved in my property. I negotiated rent to a Section 8 and they paid me $1,100 a month. That $1,100 a month came up to about $13,000 a year. Now, only expense I had was paying that property was the property taxes and water bill or something like that, and a little maintenance. So my profit was, after all the expenses, were about like $8,000 or $9,000 a year. That's $8,000 or $9,000 a year. That means that from the $8,000 or $9,000 a year, I was able to recoup all my investment that I paid for that property. So now it's what we call printing money. That's what we do in Section 8. We want to be able to print our own money. Now the tenant's been with me for a long time. They enjoy their house. I was lucky to get there when she had her kids young. So she had young kids and now they're a little older. So she's been with me for a while. That Section 8 pays me $1,100 a month still. And it's been years and years, and this person's still been one of my best tenants. Not because she's a great tenant, but Section 8 is great at paying my money on time. So that's why we want to make sure that we pay off our properties. I've seen examples where we had people who got tax refunds who purchased a property free and clear. Suppose they had an $8,000 tax refund. There's properties out here in certain areas that you can purchase for $8,000 cash. You can purchase it for $8,000 cash. You can take your time to fix up this property. You can put everything together on the property. Then once you have a property that's free and clear, what's our biggest expense? It's rent. It's a mortgage. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this nonsense. Don't believe that what everyone else says, that we need to have a rent or mortgage to be successful. We'll be more successful in our minds and be able to engage in more things to create wealth once we get rid of all this negative nonsense about debt. I agree in debt in some things, but I don't agree to have it in any of my properties that I own. I like to be knowing that no one can put me out or the bank can't foreclose on my property. So that's all I want to talk about, my biggest expense on my Section 8 tip to all you landlords out there and tenants who are looking to own their own properties. Use your money wisely. Find a property despite what anybody else says about it that is ugly or anything else, and pay for it. If you have to live in there with your family, you do. You do it for a couple of years, and then you'll start on that road to Section 8 wealth, or you start on that road to real estate wealth. Okay? Your family will be much prouder of you. They'll be happy with. You'll be changing your lifestyle of your family. Don't get involved in all this and saying that we have to move in a big giant house and be fit in with every other neighbor like that to be successful. Once again, my name is John Russell. I'm with Section 8 is Great. Get the book Section 8 is Great, the blueprint for Section 8 wealth. You can also listen to me or subscribe to this. Please subscribe and like this video. And also you can reach me on Twitter at John Russell Live. I come up with several videos and several posts on that website as well. Once again, this is John Russell with Section 8 is Great, JohnRussellLive.com, John Russell Live at Twitter. Thank you for listening to the video. Please subscribe, and I'll try to keep you posted on anything new that I'm thinking about at the time. Have a good day. Bye.